Hey guys, Heathen Moose here, coming to give you my thoughts, my predictions for WrestleMania 41 this weekend. Starting with the first match, we've got Jade Cargill versus Naomi for their grudge match after Naomi attacked Jade Cargill a few months ago, and big heel turn for Naomi. I'm glad to see she's getting more spotlight because she absolutely killed it when she left and went to TNA and came back. Glad Jade Cargill's getting a WrestleMania match. She is going to be a huge star for the WWE. Hopefully they have some pretty good storytelling and they have the time to tell what they want and do what they want to do in the match. I don't see Jade Cargill losing her first WrestleMania match. So I'm going to go with Jade Cargill only because I think this is what's going to propel her for the rest. Next we have Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. Honestly, it could go either way. Jacob Fatu's been on a tear. They do like to push LA Knight. But I think they're going to have Jacob Fatu win, get his first WrestleMania win, get his first singles championship in the WWE, and use that to propel the story forward between him, Tama Tonga, Solo Sikoa, and if he returns anytime soon, Tonga Loa. Next on night one, we have the War Raiders versus the New Day for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Honestly, hasn't got a lot of build-up, only been the last couple weeks, and surprised this is taking the tag title match at Mania instead of SmackDown. Really thought they were going to do a multi-man tag match at Mania for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships with how much that division has been on fire. But I think they're going to have the New Day lose with some kind of interference from Big E. Now, I don't know if they're going to have Big E come out, babyface pop, and they'll lose. Who knows, they might have him do a heel turn at this point, but I do not see them winning the Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania. Next, we have Tiffany Stratton versus the Royal Rumble winner for the women's side, which is Charlotte Flair. Now, I will be 100% honest, I do not give a shit about Charlotte. She annoys me, her moveset's kind of boring. She does the same character she's been doing for well over a decade at this point. Just not feeling it, and it's again, she leaves, she comes back, bam, she's in the title picture. And now she's going off the rails again and off script, just like she's done with Nia Jax and Becky Lynch, because she thinks she's better than everyone, even though she's not. I think they're going to have Tiffany Stratton win because they need to start pushing the younger stars and the next generation. We've had Charlotte Flair. We've had her since WrestleMania 32 when she switched it from the Divas to the Women's Championship. We need a new push. We need to get Charlotte out of the title picture. At least then we can have people stop hating her so much. And we need to push the younger talent. So I think Tiffany Stratton is going to be the winner. I think this is going to be one hell of a match. Next, we have the Men's Royal Rumble winner, Jey Uso Yeet, versus the World Heavyweight Champion in Gunther. Honestly, this storyline's kind of dragged, and the fact that Jey Uso's lost to him 3 times already, being the story of he's going to get redemption and win. I'm not a fan of most of his matches. I think it's a lot of just super kick, spear, maybe a Samoan drop, and, the big splash. I get his personality. He is over like Rover. He is very popular. And I think we're going to have more titles change hand. I do not think this is going to be a big surprise that Jey Uso's going to win when he does win. And it's going to be a huge pop, and it's going to be awesome to see tens of thousands of people, if not, 6 figures, depending on how many people fit in the stadium, doing the Yeet chant, and what his entrance is going to be. So I'm going to go with Jey Uso on this one, and hopefully they can give Gunther a little break, and he can come back and be the monster that he was. Then we have the Night 1 main event. We have Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in CM Punk's inaugural WrestleMania main event, which is insane, the fact that this is his first one, especially considering the fact that WrestleMania 29, him and Undertaker was arguably the best match of the night. I don't know who really would argue that. But this one, I don't really have a big dog in the fight because I do appreciate Roman Reigns. Now that the title's off him, he has a bit more flexibility in his storytelling as character. Huge fan of Rollins, honestly have been since 2014. His breakout of the Shield, I think, did wonders for him, and he's just been on fire ever since. And then I've always been a diehard CM Punk fan since I first started really getting into wrestling back in about 2008. the first storyline I actually remember watching on TV as it was happening was him and Umaga, RIP. So it's crazy to think what led to this matchup and this being the night one main event, but I'm going to go with Seth Rollins. I think he's got enough mind games in his pocket. I think Punk and Reigns are going to go after each other because of Paul Heyman, and Rollins is going to be the one that kind of swoops in there, steals the win from Punk and Reigns that have been taking the wins from him for years now. Getting into night two, our first matchup is going to be Logan Paul versus AJ Styles in what essentially is the part-time marketing match for Logan Paul. Not a fan of Logan Paul. I have to admit his pulverizer, although horribly named, is an incredibly sick move, and AJ Styles makes it look even better as seen on Monday Night Raw. But I think Logan Paul is going to take this win. He really hasn't had much luck at WrestleMania. AJ Styles really doesn't need wins at WrestleMania at this point, and they're really pushing Logan Paul to be the new young up-and-comer who's investing into their company. So I would love for AJ Styles to win, but based on how they've been booking in the storyline, I think they're going to have Logan Paul win and some shenanigans from Kai Cenat, IShowSpeed, Jake Paul, whoever it may be this year. After that, we have the Sin City Street Fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest. Honestly, this is one of the matches I'm more excited for on the WrestleMania card. I would put this up there with the triple threat for night one for the matches I think that are going to be the best, the ones I'm most excited for. Always been a huge fan of Drew, even when he was the chosen one, and I saw him at WrestleMania 26 get crotched in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I've always enjoyed his character. I think this monstrous beast, badass that calls everybody out that he's been, is awesome. Damian Priest has really grown on me the last 3 years. I thought he was interesting in NXT, but this last couple of years he's really grown on me, and I am a huge fan of his. So I'm really excited for this one, but I do see Damian Priest walking out of this one with the win, and that's going to set off Drew McIntyre and give him some story moving forward. But I do think Priest is going to win only because really hasn't gotten a lot of WrestleMania wins, at least big WrestleMania wins. Drew has won the world title twice, one in front of a crowd, one not in front of a crowd. I think he's on fire, but I'm going to have to give this one to Damian Priest, but I will be happy either way. Next, we have the Fatal 4-Way for the Intercontinental Championship between Penta, Dominic Mysterio, Braun Breaker, and Finn Balor. I think this is going to be up there just with the Sin City Street Fight Night 1's main event as probably one of the more fun matches to watch. I'm honestly excited for whoever wins because I'm a fan of every person in here. Gotta love Braun's intensity, his spears, his dogs barking. Penta I've been a fan of since Lucha Underground. Dom is honestly, you can't doubt how good he is in the ring and how good his character work is. He's by far incredible. I wish he'd bulk up a little bit or just, lean out. Do a little bit more definition. He just looks like a string bean. But overall, it works for him. He's doing great. Finn Balor, always been a fan of his, even back when he was Prince Devitt. It can kind of go any way, but if I had to pick, I think Dominic should be the one to win. I think he deserves that big win. He hasn't won at WrestleMania yet, and I think he deserves that big win, the big singles title push, and that's going to be the spike in the coffin for the Judgment Day. Next, we have the Women's Tag Team Championship match with Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, the reigning champs, versus Bayley and the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. I don't see why this is honestly on the match card other than just to make sure they have more women on there. Not a lot to build up. They could have put Roxanne Perez, Chelsea Green, Zelina Vega, the security service for Chelsea Green. You had a lot of options here. Maxine Dupree, Natalya Neidhart. Could have done a multi-women match for like the U.S. title or the IC title. I don't see why this is the way that they've gone, but I do not see Lyra and Bayley winning. I think they're going to end up feuding after this for the championship, and Liv and Raquel are going to go on and retain. The penultimate match for Night 2 is going to be the Women's World Championship. It's going to be the Women's Champion, Io Sky, versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair after she won the Chamber. I do see Jade or Naomi getting involved in this somehow for Belair. I honestly think Io needs to squeak out of here with the title. Either have her win clean, have her do a roll up, have her do something. Io deserves the big win at Mania. I love Rhea Ripley, I love Bianca Belair, I love BlueSky. They're all fantastic, they're all great. Io needs this win. She's been playing the second fiddle. She really needs this stamp. And let Rhea Ripley's character grow instead of just online, have it be more on TV. Bianca Belair needs something to mix up, and I feel like she's going to end up getting mixed up with the Jade and Naomi situation, and build her character that way. Finally, we have the Night 2 main event. It is going to be the Farewell Tour, the last WrestleMania match for John Cena and Cody Rhodes. This is one I believe they are going to switch hands. I think there's going to be chicanery. They are going to have John Cena win the championship, hit that number 17, and break the faux record of Ric Flair, whose was, I believe, like 21 or 23. In reality, it wasn't 16. I think they're going to have Cena win. They're going to push this heel turn. They're going to have Cody Rhodes get screwed over and fight back and run it back. They're going to have him win the championship back from John Cena, send him on his farewell tour. I think that they're going to have Cena win just because it's farewell tour, have him get that last hurrah, break that record, and push Cody Rhodes' story that it's not just about the championship and there is that adversity. Plus, I mean, heel Cena using dirty tactics. I think he can do it. Those are my predictions for both Night 1 and Night 2 of WrestleMania 41 this year. Give me your thoughts. Well, who do you think is going to win? Which one are you most excited for? And don't forget, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe.